When you get to a climb, the first thing you might ask yourself is, what is the aim? Is it to get your fastest time, as in a time trial for example? Is it simply to survive the climb as part of a longer ride? Or is it to win the climb, to solo to victory?
Now, whatever your goal, you're going to need a metric for pacing your climb. Now, it could be a power meter or a heart rate monitor, or you could go on perceived exertion. They're all a bit different to use, but our advice is that you're able to pace a climb purely on feel for the days when technology fails you.
Optimising your time on a climb for a hill climb or an uphill time trial, you're going to need to ride at a pace that you can sustain for the entire climb itself. Now, to get the best time, you're going to need to be completely empty at the top.
Depending on the length of the climb, this will be around your FTP. Set off at that pace. Going a little bit over at the start is okay, but more than 5% over will put you into trouble later. Aim for a constant effort over the whole climb and be disciplined. It will pay off. If you're riding with a bunch of others, notice that many people will set off too fast and blow up. All right, mate. I think you went a bit fast at the start, eh?
Wait!
You can take a bit of pleasure in passing them later on the climb. Now, the problem with this kind of effort is that it is painful, and if it's a decent length climb, it's going to go on for a long time. It's also, to be honest, a bit lonely, unless you've got a riding buddy who's a very similar pace to you.
Now, with that in mind, here are some tips on pacing.
Now, setting the pace is the tricky bit. If you have a power meter or a heart rate monitor and you know your FTP, then stick to that. If not, you could guess it, but guess on the conservative side. And if you're riding purely on feel, then it should be painful and you should be breathing hard and definitely not able to chat. But you shouldn't feel a build-up of lactic acid.
Yeah, at this steady, sustainable sub-threshold pace, you should be able to process lactate at the same rate you produce it. Is this steady for you?
Yeah, but we're still chatting, so we're not going hard enough.
I know.
Right, better speed up, I guess.
Be disciplined in sticking to your pace. Now, if you haven't got a power meter, then you should be riding as much as you can purely on feel, but also trying to use cadence as well. So, if the climb has a constant gradient, then your cadence should reflect that and be the same as well.
Now, you should beware if you're using a heart rate monitor to judge your pace, because as you get fatigued, your heart rate will actually drift up. Also, if it's very hot, your heart rate will be higher than normal as well. If you're feeling bored, try counting off the kilometers or even the hairpins. Breaking a climb down into smaller chunks is a great way to pace it and can make the idea of a daunting, hour-long, painful effort much less frightening.
Although 5 minutes is far more achievable.
Yep, definitely.
Make sure that when you're climbing, you keep eating and drinking, but just ensure that it's only in small doses. The last thing you want to do is fill up on a whole bidon or a whole large gel or bar and make your stomach feel bloated whilst you're riding at threshold.
Quick release energy sources like energy drink, gels or jelly sweets are your best bet. Wash down with sips of water. The maximum most people can absorb is 60 grams of carbohydrate per hour, so try to aim for about 10 grams of carbs every 10 minutes. You'll need the energy replacement if you're riding at this pace. Control your breathing. This is similar to in pacing a time trial. Obviously, you need the fastest rate of oxygen delivery to your body that you can get, but that doesn't mean increasing your breathing rate. Ironically, breathing faster, as in more breaths per minute, doesn't mean you completely empty your lungs, and this is less efficient for gas transfer.
Try to breathe slowly and deeply from your diaphragm. This is also calming and will help your body stay relaxed. A tense upper body is just a waste of energy. Being able to relax through deep breathing is also a handy technique for all kinds of other stressful life situations.
Now, if the climb comes as part of a longer sportive or road race, then it's a totally different situation. And in fact, it's quite rare that you get to choose the pace at all, because other people will be setting the pace or even trying to drop you. So what might happen is that you're actually just in survival mode on the climb.
Which basically means you want to hit the top of the climb with a little bit left in the tank for the rest of the race or ride, and not be totally wiped out and fatigued.
Yeah.
Well, Emma, I think we paced that climb pretty well. Thanks for waiting for me as well.
Stop bluffing, Matt. Anyway, for some tips on how to make it tough for people you're climbing with, you can check out our earlier video, How to Climb Nasty, down here.
That is a pretty nasty video, and don't forget to like and share too.